Kia ora guys, welcome to another flip video session. Today we are learning to round decimals to the nearest whole number, 10th and 100th. Let's get into it. Can you think of a real life example where you have to round numbers? If so, bring that knowledge to our next math session. Rounding rules. When do we round up? If the number you're rounding is followed by 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, then round the number up. When do you round down? If the number you're rounding is followed by 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, round the number down. All right, let's check out the first example. Rounding to the nearest whole number. Rounding numbers to the nearest whole number means finding which whole number they are nearest or closest to. For example, 0.6 rounded to the nearest whole number is 1. So if we're rounding to whole numbers, we'd look at the ones column, and then we'd look at the column before that, which is the tenths column. So, is the tenths column closest to one whole? Yes, it is, because it's 0.6, so we'd round up. Round these numbers to the nearest whole number. So, 2.6 to the nearest whole number. Look at the tenths column. Is that closest to 1 or 2? Oh, sorry, is that closest to 2 or 3? It's closer to 3, so we'd round 2.6 to 3. Let's check out 7.3. Look at the tenths column. Is 7.3 or 3/10? Is that closest to 7 or 8? It's closest to 7, so we'd round 7.3 down to 7. Now, what about 19.7? Remember, we're rounding to whole numbers, which is the ones column, so we would look at the column before that, which is the tenths column. So, is 7/10 closer to 20 or to 19? It's closer to 20, so we'd round up to 20. Rounding to the nearest tenth. Rounding numbers to the nearest tenth means finding which tenth they are nearest or closest to. For example, 0.45 rounded to the nearest tenth is 0.50 or 0.5. So in this example, we're rounding to the nearest tenth, so we look at the hundredth column. So applying those rules to 0.45, we look at the hundredths column. It has a 5 in it, which represents 5 hundredths. According to our rules, we have to round up, so we do. Round these numbers to the nearest tenth. 6.57 would be rounded to what? Look at our hundredths column, because we're rounding to the nearest tenth. It has a 7 in it, which represents 7 hundredths, and that is closer to 6/10 than it is to 5/10. So 6.57 would be rounded to 6.6. What about 2.53? What would we do for that one? We would round down to 2.5. 35.17 would be rounded to 35.20 or 35.2. So remember, if you're rounded to the nearest tenth, look at the hundredth column and then apply those rules we covered. Rounding to the nearest hundredth. Rounding numbers to the nearest hundredth means finding which hundredth they are closest to. For example, 0.636 rounded to the nearest hundredth is 0.640 or 0.64. So in this example, because we're rounded to the nearest hundredth, we're looking at the column before that. So we're looking at our thousandth column and then applying those rules. So we need to round the following numbers to the nearest hundredth. 0.428. Look at the thousandths column. It has an 8 in it, so we'd round up. So we'd round 0.428 to 0.430 or 0.43. What about 0.791? Look at the thousandths column, or the column before the hundredths, and it has a 1 in it. Applying our rules, we'd round down. So 0.791 would be rounded down to 0.79. Last example here, 3.686. Check out the thousandths column. It has a 6 in it. That tells me I need to round up. So 3.686 would be rounded to 3.690 or 3.69. All right, guys, remember the rules. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, round down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, round up. Cheers.